And we are live. The Black Comic Lords in the building with another one of our Black Comic Creator interview series. I am going rogue again, everybody. No producer here. I'm doing everything solo dolo. So if there's any mishaps, mistakes, what's that phrase that my boy Rich always says? Charge it to my head, not to my heart. That's what he says. Very eloquent. So tonight we got a special guest with us, Mr. N. Stephen Harris. Your mic is muted, bro. You got to unmute your mic.
There we go. There we go. I'm back. I'm here.
There he is.
I am here.
He is here. Now, I met Stephen a year ago in Brooklyn at our after party at the Schomburg, from the Schomburg Black Comic Book Festival at Bulletproof Comics in Brooklyn. Schomburg was crazy last year. That was a great event. That was a great event. You know, what's interesting, you and I were talking a little bit backstage. One of the reasons why I thought it was important to bring you on, there are a lot of artists, creators in the comic book realm who are household names, you know, particularly in our community. And if I go, you know, Dennis Cowan, if I go Rodney Barnes, if I go Sanford Green, you know, Larry Stroman, when I say these names, people know those names in this community. Mm-hmm. When I say people, I mean not just the hardcore fans that know everybody, but even the more casual Black comic collectors know those names.
Right.
Your name is not on that list. And I don't mean that as a slight. Please do not interpret it that as such.
Not at all. Not at all.
But it is not a household name. And my question is, why the hell not? Like your art, looking through your art, you're a beast, man. Your art is like right up there with everybody else. It's among the best in the business.
Oh, appreciate you, man.
And that's why it was so important for me to bring it on. Like, do y'all not see this? do you not see the caliber of work this brother's doing? Like, how is not everybody just saying N. Stephen Harris every other week on this page? Why is that, man? How come, in your opinion, you're not a household name, even though you should be?
I've heard stories from the halls of the old guard at DC Comics in the 90s about an editor who didn't like me. But a lot of us have those stories about an editor or a group editor that doesn't like somebody and they don't get work. And I don't know. I never did anything to this person. But that was the case. But it's still, I mean, I can't even say that because I've gotten work a few times there. I mean, I was on Aztek. Even my editor there, we had a great relationship. That was Paul Kupperberg, but he had people in his ear about me for some reason. I mean, my pages were always handed on time, and if there was ever a problem, which there was a problem, you know, about the quality work I was putting in the first couple issues, he talked to me. I talked to a mentor of mine, Gil Ashby, who was also friends with Michael Davis and Dennis Cowan, who are like my three of my mentors. Yeah. And he sat me down and said, "Listen, this is what I see in your work, and this is where you can improve it." I listened to him, and my work was improved from that point on, and people noticed it. So I really can't give you a straight answer as to why. It's just my notoriety came, you know, I guess got a little bit of a boost probably in the 2000s and the coming of the internet when I took promotion in my own hands, and then not just that, but the advent of more Black oriented comic conventions, more comic conventions oriented to different groups of people, where we cut out the middleman or middle person in comics. whether it is the gatekeepers in comic companies or the gatekeepers going to comic book stores. So that's where my name has gotten a little bit more more, I won't say popularity, but more known.
Yeah.
Like cons like ECBAC, East Coast Black Age Comic Conventions, Honest Con in Atlanta, Black Age of Comics by late Turtel Only,
Yeah.
MechaCon by late Maya Crown, all those things, all those places. Bronx Heroes Cons here in New York and from Ray Felix, all those comic conventions, and of course the Schomburg, which is every year from the start. So cons like that have helped me, and me putting out my own work has helped me, and collaborating with people in the community and doing things like doing things like that. So that's what helped me a lot as well.
The story is an important one, in my opinion, because here it is. You say, various editors wouldn't let me in the door at the big two.
Yeah.
Although you've done that work and you've done a great job at that work. I mean, I'm looking at the picture you have is behind you of two of my favorite, Marvel characters, the Black Panther and Storm.
Yeah.
Is that from a book, by the way?
No, it's a print idea. Just wanted to sell the conventions. I had time, so I did. But
yeah, I might need a copy of that. Anyway, getting distracted. But yeah, I mean, you've done that work, but your true success and where your art really flourishes, I've seen, is in your indie work. And there's something to be said about that. Like, here it is, you've got all this talent, and this is something we're big about here at Black Comic Lords. This is kind of like why we exist, man. You got these talented brothers and sisters out here who have all the talent in the world, and they're not given the opportunities to demonstrate that talent and profit off of that talent, or get the notoriety from that talent. And so you take the alternative route. It's like, I do it myself. I do it on my own. I'll go an alternative way other than going through the big two. And you find your success there. You find your niche there. You find your crowd, your followers there. And that's where you flourish. But it's a damn shame, man, because as you can see just in the art behind you, you're an incredible, talented artist that by anyone's standards.
Yeah, and the big two, a lot of people in the big two are just very myopic. I mean, they'll say things like, we haven't found the right fit for you. And that what they mean by that, I think, is a Black comic book. And hey Angel. It's and I love doing Black characters. Of course, you see my work. But I don't only do that.
Right.
But so they'll come up with things like they'll only pigeonhole us with a Black story. And again, that's a tough statement to say, because I love doing Black characters. I love doing Black oriented work. But I do not want to be perceived as saying I am not a Black artist, or I don't want to do Black oriented characters or Black characters. But there's I can do that, and I'm a trained illustrator.
Yeah.
If I know how to draw up a person of a certain ethnicity, I'll look it up. I'll research the character. I'll get reference. I won't cop out and just draw a white person colored Black, or a white person a poor excuse of an Asian person that looks white.
Right.
I'll take an actual person who is Asian, who is Pacific Islander, who is of African descent, and draw those likenesses that make that person, that character.
Yeah, there's more to drawing people of different backgrounds or ethnicities than bringing out your brown number 5 or your yellow number 2. There's more to it than that. Let's take a look at some of the work that you've done.
Okay.
So here's something from what, 95?
95, The Crush, published by imaged and produced my Motown. Yes, that Motown, Detroit's own Motown. They made comics back in 94, 95, and 96.
Wow.
And I was on this book called The Crush. Michael Davis helmed it. And
Michael Davis from Milestone?
Michael Davis from Milestone. That Michael Davis. After he left Milestone, he went to Motown and had the gift of gab and sold them the idea of doing animation with a comic book component. The animation was Motown Machine Works was the animated wing, or was it was Motown Animation, and Machine Works was the comic book wing. And so he parlayed that into doing comic books. There was like 5 comic books. There was Crush, Trouble Man, Man Against Time, Casual Heroes. What's up, Joe?
Joe Willage in the house, Kanan White in the house,
and Stealth 3, but Stealth 3 never came out. And I think the only other book other than The Crush that went its full run was Trouble Man, because a lot of books didn't make the full run.
Right. So, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through my comic collection. I'm trying to find the earliest thing I ever had.
Covers by Adam Polina, the former X-Force artist. I did the interiors in that one.
I just put the reference here, so I knew the issue you were talking about. Your name's the bottom, Harris.
And the cover for The Crush was by my good friend Walter McDaniels. He did all the covers for The Crush.
This is the earliest thing in my collection that I had from you. This is from 2000. I think you said it came out in 99. You drew it in 99. It came out in 2000.
I drew it in 99. It came out 2000.
Yeah. X-Force. But I mean, look, you've done work for the big two.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about, I don't need to just draw black people. I'm an artist. I can draw anything. Here's you doing Batman.
Yep.
Joe Illidge just mentioned you doing a Huntress back in his Batman editing days. He said you slayed it.
Thank you, Joe.
Here's you doing Black Lightning.
That was the first time I drew Batman there. Actually, I kind of co-plotted the last 10 pages of that book.
No doubt. We're going to talk a little bit about that too, because you're not just an artist; you're also a writer.
Yeah, I dabbled a few times.
Here's you doing. You can't get any more white than Captain America. Did Captain America?
Yep. Sentinel of Liberty, number 10, Catwoman. That was an inventory issue with editor Matt Idelson.
Joe Illidge referenced you doing the Huntress for him back in the day.
And in the frame where she's sliding down, there was the writer had in there a swastika, but they edited it out.
Oh.
Yeah. It was like a bunch of collected art pieces, and that was one of them. And they said, "Nah, we're gonna edit this one out." I said, "Okay."
Yeah. Got to sneak an onk in there.
Yeah. This was 90. This was 98. Yeah, along with this was 98 as well.
Deadpool.
And
Deadpool.
This was the template for the Deadpool movie.
What?
Yeah, this was Deadpool's origin, and they use this as a template for the Deadpool movie, and I got some money for it.
Did you?
I got a little bit of money. Yeah.
Someone actually got paid off of their work finally for a change.
Yeah. I mean, we have no ownership, or I don't know if we're in the credit scene.
That was going to be my next question. Did you see your name in the credits?
I don't remember seeing myself in there, but it was myself and Joe Kelly, so we got some money for it, and that came in. Shout
out to Big Phil. Said you gave him a original art piece.
Oh yes, that's always Phil. Okay, hey Phil, aka Mr. White.
Got a lot of fans, bro.
My homegirl Megdalia, she's cool. She's cool. She's good people. And this
Canopy.
This
Now,
is
this is
a project I want to do. This is a creator-owned project. I want to collaborate with a good friend of mine.
Noir is the New Black.
Yes, that is because that appears. The story appears in Noir's New Black, and this is more of the story or the people or the characters involved with it with my good friend and collaborator Brandon Thomas.
Uh-oh. I don't know what happened to my slide. Oh, my slide didn't work. All right. Well, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
For those who are watching, this book, Noir is the New Black, this is like your who's who in the Black comic creating community. I mean, this is like an elite book. This is like next gen of who's the biggest and best in comics is this book right here. Highly recommend it. Watson and Holmes.
Watson and Holmes.
Another collabo with Brandon Easton.
Yeah, no, it's our first and only collabo with Brandon Easton.
Why don't you tell us about this book?
Brandon, okay, Watson Holmes is a reimagining of the Sherlock Holmes stories featuring two Black men from Harlem solving crimes and murders, and you have a total reimagining of the world in this property here. This woman here is supposed to be the Irene Adler character. In this story, she is Irene Adlero, a Dominican princess, as they term her, and she is an indie artist. So she's a spoken word artist and an indie songstress.
I like seeing these black and white photos,
Okay.
uncolored work, so you can really see your line work. This is clean, bro.
Thank you, sir.
So expressive. Like you don't even need any word bubbles when you see in the story. That's how you know you're a dope artist. Take the word bubbles out and see if I can follow the story and follow what's going on.
This comes from a bunch of hard critiques from upperclassmen and teachers and seasoned professionals getting in my ass about my work.
Yeah. This is tight work, man.
I didn't have time to be sensitive about it, man.
About
the comments.
This is a book that kind of fascinates me. I've seen some pages from this book,
and
I'm trying to figure out why I don't own this yet. I don't know why.
This is bittersweet, but this is a collaboration of me and my partner, the late great Robert Garrett, who we did this character together. That cover, the cover for book 4 is by John Jennings. On the cover of book 1, I drew it, but the talented artist Machindo did the colors on that one.
Really?
Yeah, that's Machindo color.
Machindo's a legend.
So yeah, this was a 4-issue run that we had. That was the first arc, and we started the second arc. But by that time, when we had like 5 months after we completed our Kickstarter, that wasn't successful for the second run. 5 months into that, and we were just about wrapping up, trying to get the colors finished and the letters finished. Robert passed away on May 9th of 2019, and I was going to. Now I will still do that. I meant to post those pages on the day of his death as a reminder of when he passed away, but I just couldn't do it at the time. But I'll probably do it this week, just to show the work we were doing and the colors by the great Walt Masanza Barner, who's been coloring my work since like 2012, 2013, with the start of issue 2 of Ajala.
You guys got a Glyph Award for best female character.
Yeah, 2 years in a row, 2013, 2014.
Wow. It's crazy, man. Your art's crazy.
That was a cover to our book 5. We're gonna have a wraparound cover. for book 5. We're going to start a whole new story arc for that. It's going to be a little bit more gritty, touching on
Schomburg
topics.
edition.
Yeah, touching on topics in the community, like police brutality, housing, gentrification, stuff like that. We're going to touch on.
That's what I was talking about before. Here's the colored version.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the uncolored version. You can see these lines. It's really phenomenal.
And this cover was
this
cover dealt with the story. It was called a manual, right? So it had this like a 10-page story, some backs, and a lot. This was text heavy because it had some like a novella in here. It talked about her mother. This pictures of her mother when her mother was part of the organization that Ajala is now part of. This is her mother at 16 in the 90s, fight during the crack epidemic.
I'm trying to remember which hip hop album cover this was.
This is more of a homage or inspiration by the photographer Jamel Shabazz. I don't know if you know his work. He does a lot of photography of work of people in New York City from the 80s, 70s, and 80s. Just regular people, everyday people of just in the neighborhood, whether it's Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem.
Yeah.
Just friends in the neighborhood, just taking pictures of him. He's if anyone, I know he's very New York centric, so if anyone could look up his name, Jamel Shabazz, Jamel Shabazz, Shabazz, Jamel Shabazz. He's a very accomplished photographer, and just is known for his works of capturing the culture from the 70s, 80s, the youth culture in particular, 70s, 80s, and even 90s. He's still working today, but people need to check his work out.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Anthony Davis, the $20 super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I wonder if I have time to do a super chat video. I love how my producer has time to like chime in and just taunt me. Oh, hey, I'm checking out before my plane takes off. Because he's got to go on these missions where he does various things he's not allowed to talk about. So
there's always some downtime, right? He makes time to show love to you, Paul.
Is it love? Is it love though?
That's his way of showing it. That's his love language.
It's more like him taunting. But thank you for the super chat, Anthony.
Show me the money. I need to feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money. I love black people.
Appreciate you. All right. Brotherhood of the Fringe.
That is my baby. Brotherhood of the Fringe is my creator-owned book that I write, draw, and color, and even letter. Hopefully I can get this off the ground and get some help doing it next when I continue it. But the Brotherhood of the Fringe, and here's the elevator pitch. It is a story revolving a young woman in a nation that's been colonized, occupied by a foreign power for 30 years. She works for a corporation, but secretly she works for a revolutionary group called the Fringe that is there to free their people and to get rid of the colonizers, occupiers. But she's found out. She's apprehended, brainwashed, and transformed into a living weapon to be used to terrorize her own people and to seek out and destroy the Fringe Revolution. Hey, I'm appreciating all this love for Robert Garrett, y'all. Keep it coming. I love it.
Yeah. Sorry, it's crazy, man. How long have you been working on this one?
I don't want to talk about it, man. I first put the feeler out in '95, right? It was for a cover for a newsletter for Coke, Jim Coke. I hope it's that guy's name right. He has a warehouse of comics, right, in Red Hook. And in '95, I was with Motown.
Yeah.
And so we took a trip to his warehouse, and we got a bunch of comics. And I got more than I thought I got. It came to over $100. He said, "Tell you what, you give me $40 for this stack, and do a cover for me for my newsletter." I said, "Bet." I did that cover, and that cover featured the characters in this book. And then 5 years later, I began working on this book. And 7 years after that, no, actually 6 years after that, I put out the first Ash Can for the Fringe. That was in 2006. And then issue 1 came out in 2007. And then I had the what you saw the cover to what I call the graphic novel Under Construction in 2010. That combined issues 1 and 2 plus a preview of book 3. And I've been trying to get book 3 out ever since. The book 3 is drawn. I just gotta finish coloring it, and finish the story. And the story is going to be multiple issues long. I'm not sure, between 8 and 10 issues, or just maybe a series of volumes.
With the 3 issues, I don't know what your page count on each of these issues.
The first issue is 24 pages, 22 pages. The second one is 32. The third one is 32 pages.
So after that third one is done, are you going to release that as a trade or graphic novel?
I want to. Ideally, I would like to have 4 out too, to make 1 full trade of a story arc, and then do the second arc, then start the second arc. That's ideally. It's been so long since 3 came. It's been so long since 2 was out, and so I may just do what you think, and then do 4 and do a complete trade like that. So we'll see. But I might have to do a Kickstarter or something like that too.
I was literally about to say that. Have you looked at crowdfunding to get it done?
Yeah. I got it. That's my idea of doing a crowdfunder.
May I suggest you reach out to our logistical expert, Angel Perry?
Okay. I just talked to her. I was hanging with her last weekend for Eggbag.
I know. She let me know. She's like, "Oh, look who I'm hanging out with, Paul. Y'all chilling back in Florida. I'm out here with the superstars."
Oh, stop it.
All right. So yeah, but seriously, she does logistics on comics. She'll be happy to do some stuff. Angel Kano says, "Angel will get you right." All right. So this is also from the same book?
Yeah, this is like a flashback of this. Like these people are the generation before the main characters of the current story.
She says, "Tag me in, Coach." Trying to hook you up, Angel. Trying to hook you up. All right. Damn. It was interesting is because you've worked on this for so long, I wonder.
Mm-hmm.
You can see like variations in your style slightly.
Oh yeah. You see, especially the color work. I had to recolor the first few pages of the second book because of how my color. Because I learned Photoshop coloring in like 2004.
Yeah.
Or 2005, and then as I grew as I learned more and had more people help me with it, my coloring just grew, and so I had to redraw some. Recolor some of those pages.
This is insane that I don't have this. Anthony Davis says, "Where can we pick this up?"
Me, when I get some more copies.
We're going to talk about that at the end, Anthony. We're going to talk about how everyone can order stuff that you see here tonight from him. All right, let's move on. Oh my God, look at this. And you colored this yourself too?
Yeah, I'm a madman like that.
Damn.
This is the DMC book that has not come out yet. I'm waiting on that to come out. Hopefully.
Are we allowed to show this?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we're allowed to show it. It's cool.
All right, so
that's why I'm only showing 2 pages.
You're only showing the 2 pages.
Let's see. These are only 2 I showed you, right? I sent you, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Daryl wrote this and you drew it, or how did it work?
No, Daryl didn't write this. Sheena Howard wrote this.
Oh, Sheena Howard. All right.
Yes.
Sheena C. Howard.
Shout out to Sheena Howard.
That's what's up. Tell us about DMC.
Dr. Sheena Howard. I'm sorry.
Dr. Sheena Howard. Talk to us about this.
Okay. It's part of DMC's trade series he's doing. So every now he puts out a trade with 4 stories in it. This one is chapter 2 of 4, and I think each trade he puts out is a complete story, but they're done by different artists, different writers. And mine is a continuation of that of the first story. So that's pretty much all I can say about it right now, I think.
Can I just reiterate the fact that this is all art by the same man, and the styles vary.
And these colors, the colors on the DMC book are again by Walt Masanza Barna. I always recommend him when I'm doing a project. He's colored most of my work from the past 15 years. Oh God, I said that out loud. My goodness. But
people want this.
This is my second. This is my second project for DMC. The first one was a 10-page story that featured DMC, Chuck D. You saw the book. Ice Cube, Bumpy Knuckles, and Jazzy Jeff. And they came together to fight a hate monster in New York City.
I needs that. Before we go further, everyone, please take a second to like this video. I'm gonna pause for a second. We don't have any likes up. Get your likes up. Everyone like the video. And not more importantly, but also please take a second and share the video over social media. We're a very small site. We want to become a bigger site. And we can do that by you sharing the video over the internets to other people. It doesn't matter what platform you're watching us on. Just share it over some platform that you have. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, here is the hate monster one.
I see Jazzy Jeff.
And that page with Jazzy Jeff on it, the pencils are owned by Philip.
Big Phil.
Big Phil, yeah, Big Phil. Big Phil of Pittsburgh.
I'm sure if he's still in the chat, he'll be sure to let us know. That's mine. Beauty of owning original art. Wow. Look at that, man. Is that Chuck D pointing up there?
Yes.
It's crazy.
Hey, I'm glad you recognize I got the likeness right.
Yeah. I'm a big Chuck D fan. Public Enemy changed my life. Oh man, these didn't come out? Remember, someone remind me to fire my producer who's on an airplane right now laughing at me.
Oh
man, you had Harry Tubman Demon Slayer. I'll see if I can. Hold on a second. I'm gonna make this work. Give me 1 second. If everyone can be patient with me, I'm gonna try and work my magic and do a little something. Because that's just too crazy to not share. Hold on. Let's see. It's gonna be kind of small, but there. Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. Is this for an upcoming issue?
Yes, issue 7. They should come out. It should come out this year.
Wow. Are these cover? Is this cover work?
Yes, cover work or pinups or variant covers. David's being cagey about what they are.
Are you gonna do any interior work for him at some time in the future?
Yeah, that's it. That's I did the interior work also for this book.
Oh, you did the covers and the interior?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get a full issue of Steve Harris artwork on Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer.
Yes, you will, sir.
That's crazy. I can't wait, man, because that's on my pull list. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
So if everything works out, I'll get Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer out this year and DMC book, hopefully.
All right, this is one that Joe Illidge was shouting out, Indigo Clan.
Yeah, and the cover was painted by, I drew the cover, and it's painted by, again, Walt Mazanza Barna. Indigo Clan is a metaphysical martial arts action adventure.
Pause.
Huh? Okay.
Pause. This brother just said a metaphysical martial arts action adventure.
Yeah. I gotta get the pictures down, man. I'm at table selling my books. I can't be rambling. I got to
a metaphysical martial arts action adventure.
Get those keynotes.
I got trailers and theme music popping in my head right now.
Get
That's
those
a
keywords
combination of blaxploitation films and kung fu theater on Channel 5 back in the day.
Oh yeah, it has. Because yes, the writer Rael Nagasta, who's on the West Coast, when I'm doing the martial arts, he makes sure I get it right. He sends videos, videos of capoeira, of different lock, grips, grappling moves, and I gotta get it right because he'll say something.
Oh God!
So this is again a metaphysical martial arts action adventure featuring 6 young people fighting an ancient evil across the globe using their powers based in spirituality and their culture.
Come on, man. All right, I'm gonna make you a shopping list, bro, when we're done here. This is crazy. This art. Here's the metaphysical part.
Walt put his foot in it with these colors, man.
I might just grab a whole stack of Marvel and DC books right now and just throw it in the trash.
And the great thing about working the way I work now, or who I work with now, is that I have more liberal deadlines. So I could take on like 2 or 3 projects at a time and still do them comfortably. Because I'll tell people that I'm working on this right now. I can get to you at such time, or they'll say get it to me whenever. They won't say whenever, but they'll say give me at this time. And I'm not working on a Marvel DC mainstream comic deadline where I have to have 4 to 5 pages a week for them. And in doing that, I have to edit what I put into the page. I can't go all out, but with this, I can go all out.
Look, this is upsetting me. This is upsetting me. I titled this "And Stephen Harris." He's really good for a reason. And when I hear stories about, I ask, hey, bro, why aren't you a more household name in mainstream comics? And doors won't open for me. You know what this tells us, everybody?
Oh, I say it again. You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
You had these clips on deck, man. I see that.
We're being robbed, everybody. We're being robbed. When you go into your LCS and you go to the bookshelves and all you see is stuff from these companies and you're wondering, why don't I see my man's work in these books? Why isn't he drawing Wonder Woman or Superman or Batman or Spider-Man, Black Lightning, Black Panther? Why can't I see him doing that? Damn it. Who cares?
My first sample, my first comic book sample was a Black Lightning story. It was a Black Lightning.
Yeah.
I said, but I had him with short locks, a fade, short locks. Right. And he had a team. His team was Katana.
Outsiders team?
Yeah, no, actually Katana and 2 other characters that I made up, I think. And yeah. And it was a 10-pager, and I stapled them together, photocopied them, stapled together, put my card on it, stapled my card on it, and I would go to comic conventions and give them to editors. And if there wasn't a convention, I would put them in an envelope and mail them out to editors.
When you're fired, when dudes like Joe Illidge are like, Indigo Clan is quite intentional. Great concepts. Joe Illidge giving you props on the story. And then you got the GOAT.
Oh, Dennis. What's up, Dennis?
One of my personal superheroes, Dennis Cowan, says he's really great. Dennis Cowan goes, he's really great. You're in high place, man.
Thank you, Dennis.
You are known and appreciated by those who know comics, who really know comics.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Migdalia.
Thrive where you are wanted. Indeed, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
They got the power and the force that you've never seen. They got the abilities to morph. Yo, this art was crazy, man. This concept's crazy. Michael Cray.
Michael Cray, book 2. Yeah, book 2.
Dope character. Image Comics. His pencils are bananas. This is issue 2, you said?
Yeah, and that's issue 7.
Wow. Not a single word on these pages, but I can hear the glass breaking. I can see this dude talking to Michael Cray like, who do you think you are? He's like, I'm Michael Cray, dude. Back up off me.
Yeah, and this was an epitome of the deadline I'm talking about, because the first 3 issues I did in full pencils. Then the next 3 issues I had to do in finishes because the deadline. When I was doing those first 3 issues, I had this 4 weeks each book, so I was right up on it, right. So eventually, I was going to fall behind because I can't do a book in 4 weeks consistently. So then it fell behind, and Larry Hama did the breakdowns for issues 4, 5, and 6. And
Larry Hama?
Yeah.
The Larry Hama.
Yeah, lead Larry Hama.
That's my dude.
And to get me back on track. And while I was doing those books, I was also dealing with prostate cancer too. So I had surgery during the 6th book, and I still was doing the books. Fortunately, my recovery time wasn't that long. When the 6th book, when I got back on track, we had a skip month, so I could get back on track with issue 7, and I promised myself I would come back with a vengeance so I could do full pencil again and show what I could do rather than just do finishes, because I didn't know I was doing 2 pages a day to get back on track, and I drew the pages smaller, but that's not my best work. So when issue 7 came out, I'm like, I'm coming back with a vengeance, and so that's what I did with issue 7, and we had a new colorist come back too, so that helped a lot. Now the previous colorist, gorgeous colorist, and a great woman from the UK, I think Ireland, but she wasn't a great fit for the book we were doing. I seen her color work elsewhere, and it looked much better on other people's work than it did my work. So when we got this guy Ross Campbell, he just was amazing, and it was a great fit for not only myself but Dexter's inks too. And the book just like jumped leaps and bounds when he joined the team.
The best working with the best, and we got people in the chat who are the best, showing you love and respect.
I appreciate that.
All about. Yeah, this is incredible work, man. So fluid, so much action, so much. Jeez.
Hey, comments about dynamics, man.
Look at this. Even got the Kirby Crackle, man.
Kirby Crackle, man. It's really fun doing that in Photoshop too. This is Octobriana. She is a immortal superhero from the future and a revolutionary. So she travels through timelines fighting evil despots throughout history, and her nemesis, the Baba Yaga, with her ragtag band of revolutionaries.
Wow. We had some more work on this. Yeah, Octobriana.
Yeah, I wish I had some individual colored pages. I just have them in PDF form. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Yes, his art is fire. This is just represent. Now, this is not the issue of represent that I have. This is chapter 8.
Yes, this is in the larger one with the cover, with the yellow cover.
Right.
This was my writing debut for DC Comics.
Okay.
And this is a 10-pager that actually happened in my life in 1992. And so this story takes place in Harvard, where me and a group of young men encountered what is now labeled a terrorist group. I'm not gonna name that group, but they're a terrorist group. We were there to escort a professor named professor from City College at Harvard, right? And I tell the story of that and our encounter at Harvard in those 10 pages.
City College, 92. Leonard Jeffries?
Yes.
How'd I guess that?
Because you're old enough to remember that's why, because you're an old head like me.
You weren't supposed to say that out loud, but yes. I'm just thinking of who could be labeled a terrorist.
No, not him. He wasn't labeled that because the people we encountered are actual terrorists on a terrorist registry.
Oh wow!
No, for real, not.
Yeah, Leonard Jeffries a goat, guys. If you don't know who he is, Google him. Gain some knowledge itself. Between him and a few other people, Gil Noble. Those are people you should know.
Late great Gil Noble, yes.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's a me circa 1992 with the hat.
So this is your old style. Why's your old style look better than the new style I see from half the comics out right now?
And I had to really try to cut these words down because I had a lot to say in 10 pages.
You doing some Chris Claremont's type stuff, right?
Chris Claremont would have had like half the page in letters.
Chris Claremont was wordy.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix. What's all this?
Colored by my good friend Felix Serrano. He's also a Michael Davis alum, along with myself.
Right.
Yeah, we did that for these twin brothers that knew Jimi Hendrix. One has since passed away. They're called the Aleem brothers. They're people in the music industry. The Aleem brothers. They have some music. They have some records to their credit, and they're like I said, they're twin brothers. Taharka and I can't remember the last name, but yes, and they commissioned me to do 4 or 5 pages for a Jimi Hendrix story of how he tapped into the musical dimensions of his and his inspiration for this. This is I don't know if you can get this because they put this on iTunes. This was supposed to be a web comic, but they weren't clear about their instructions with me on this one. I did another one called Mojo Man that should be on iTunes. Not iTunes, maybe Apple Music now. I'm not sure because iTunes no longer exists, I think. But I did another one with Hendrix as well. But that was I was able to format more of that towards a motion comic format.
And this one on the right, was that Generation X?
Yeah, that's a character I created called I think M-Plate.
Whoa, hold up. You created M-Plate?
I created the character, the merging of Monet and her brother.
Yeah. You created that?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
This is Generation X 34, 33, 34.
I did not know that.
Yep. I'll say it my chest. I created it. They can't. I'll say I co-created because they didn't know there's a writer involved there. I think it was Scott Lobdell. Was Scott Lobdell wrote that?
It's either Lobdell or Fabian Caesar.
Fabian, yeah, one or two.
One of those two guys.
Yeah, I gotta say co-create because they know they wrote the character, so I applied the visuals.
That's crazy.
Starman. I got this from a sample I did of Starman when I was in the studio, and this was the editor was the awesome Lateef Ade Williams, who used to be an editor at DC Comics, a brother from Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
We affectionately call him the mayor of Harlem because he's such a cool brother, charismatic man. And he was after his stint at DC, he went on to work at the Apollo Theater. But yeah, he edited this and got me this job, this commission to do.
Was it just to do this page, or was it a series as well?
It was just part of the this page.
Okay. When DC does its who's who of DC comics.
Yeah. This is back in 98, 99, 98. No. Yeah, 98.
And this is from the X-Force issue.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know we had that.
Mm-hmm. And this is from a graphic novel that I'm working on with a man in Staten Island. We're currently looking for a publisher for this this story, which is a story about a couple during the early part of the 20th century, 1920s, that moved to Staten Island for a house, and they're being harassed by the neighbors to leave, and by a businessman in particular to leave, and they call their friends up and say, "Yo, help us out with this." And it's about housing discrimination in Staten Island in the 1920s. And this case, they actually sue the people involved with this, and they actually end up living there until the 70s, until they pass away. They had 3 children. These are for True Fiction. True Fiction is a publication that deals with actual historical events, but uses fictional people to tell a more personal story of that time period.
That's what's up.
So you have Cecile's brother, who is a young woman who passes for white, young Black woman passes for white, working with the NAACP during the anti-lynching movement, going into white neighborhoods and collecting lynching paraphernalia. Now, paraphernalia is a euphemistic term or an easy term, but lynching paraphernalia not involves body parts that they cut from Black people who they lynched, whether they burned or hung. They cut pieces of their fingers, ears, genitals, and kept them as keepsakes.
Yeah.
And so it's her job to go in these neighborhoods and find this stuff for the NAACP's investigation during the anti-lynching movement in the 1910s and 20s. Jude's Ward.
When she found it, what would she do? Would she take pictures of it?
In this story, she goes to maybe she gets a tip, goes to the house of a person who is uncomfortable with this stuff they found in their house, and this person hands it over to her and goes to the NAACP offices, and they work with it.
That's crazy.
And in the story, she has an older brother that was lynched. So this is about True Fiction. Jude's War is about a young man who comes back from World War II, dealing with PTSD, the beginning, the Jim Crow South, and the beginnings of the Civil Rights Movement. This is the first story I did for them. This is back in 2019. Cecil's brother and Edward and Louise's journey I did in 2022 or 23. Edward and Louise's journey deals with the Great Migration, as it says there. So they are a young couple from Alabama. An incident happens that says like the final straw. Okay, we're out of here. So it depicts their journey from the south to the north in a segregated train car. Yeah. And I heard of segregated train car. I knew they were by the. I think I knew they were by the engine. They get the smut, but I didn't know that they shared a car with livestock as well. And they had no luggage racks. The luggage they carried had to be in their own seats. They had to hold their luggage. They had to hold their luggage in their laps on the seats and share a car with livestock, chickens, goats, what have you.
These are real important stories in these times
Yeah.
to tell. Where we live in an era where our history is being erased intentionally and effectively, honestly. This is something that should probably be was this a series, or was it this an anthology book? How was it
No,
presented?
these are 3 separate books, 10 pages long.
Yeah,
It's their educational tools. So there's like at the back of the book, there's like stuff to do educationally to review or stuff like that. Not in Jude's War, because Jude's War is the first one, but the subsequent books, the man, okay, the brother who puts it together or started this, the brother named Stefan Manuel, brother based in Chicago. He's a military veteran and an educator, and he contacted me back in 2019 to do these books, to do Jude's War. Then the next couple of years after that, he contacted me to do these 2 books. I just finished one that deals with the Maroon community in Virginia, the Great Dismal Swamp, and I'm about to start another one dealing with a massacre in Vicksburg. I forgot what state, but yeah, during a massacre after Reconstruction.
So you're still working on these?
I work with them periodically, so yeah. So it's like I do one, and then some time passes, I do another one. Whenever he calls me to do one, or whenever I say, "Hey, you got, I'm available if you need me." And so,
are these on a website or something where someone can purchase them?
Truefiction.com.
Truefiction.com.
Yeah, fiction with a K.
Okay. I would hope that they would actually collect all of these into one larger book.
There's a whole bunch of other books that I didn't do too, so it'll be a lot to collect. It'll be a lot to collect.
This is something that needs to be re-released and certainly publicized.
They're available. They're all available.
Yeah. All right. Well, we need to publicize it to let people know about this. These are important stories to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is it every single book that you show me, I am like, how can I get that?
This was an unpublished cover of Watson Holmes #6 that I did.
I dig that. What does the imagery here represent?
The imagery, okay. The story of this, it deals with dualities.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we have here the zodiac sign.
You have the zodiac sign, but then in red, you have what could arguably be the sign of the Gemini.
Yes, exactly. So you have this person here who is a victim of trafficking, human trafficking, right? When she was when she was a young person, right? And this person is a trans woman, and now later on in life, she is caught up in a triangle with a politician and the politician's wife, and and there's a murder, or not a murder. There's someone ends up dead, and is the murder? Is it what is it? Who did it? Was it murder? Was it self-defense? Was it what was it? And this is the Watson Holmes story I did that I drew, that was written by Brandon Easton.
So,
and I drew a scene in Chinatown off of Canal Street. And it involved a Russian mob.
Well, that's what we had, man. So we talked about every piece that we showed tonight.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, where can I get that? I'm like, where can I get that?
Yeah.
What is how can people get your work?
Okay, I have no store at the time, but you hit me up, either inbox me on Instagram, Messenger, or email me. Instagram is my name, @nstephenharris, as you see it spelled there. Same with Facebook on Messenger. And my email is harris_56@msn.com.
What's the email that people can?
harris_56@msn.com.
So you calling me out for my age, and you still got an MSN email account?
Hey, yes, yeah. I said we're old. I included that. I said we're old heads.
All right, everyone. So check it out. So you can email him at harris_56@msn.com to order any of the works that you saw here tonight.
And what I have available is I have the True Fiction books. I have Indigo Clan books 1 and 2 and 5. I don't have 3 and 4, and that's what I have right now.
That's what you have right now.
Yeah, I have True Fiction. I think I have a couple copies of Jude's War, and I have some Cecil's Brother. I don't think I have any more Edward and Louise's Journey.
All right.
But I will get more copies. If I do attend Schaumburg, I will have more copies of books.
You gonna go to Schaumburg this year?
Huh?
You gonna go to Schaumburg this year?
I'm trying to. I haven't got my table yet, but I'm seeing what I can do with.
I just booked my ticket to fly up there. So
okay.
I need you to come through.
Huh?
I need you to come through so we can hang out.
And it's outdoors this time.
Yeah, I know that's gonna be a little interesting.
Yeah, I've done outdoor once, so I gotta. My wife knows about outdoor vending, so I gotta lean on her for that experience. I gotta see if I need a tent or I gotta see what they're providing.
Yeah, we'll be fighting against everyone else because they got the whole celebration, whole centennial at the same time. Wow. We'll make it work somehow.
Yeah,
we'll make it work. So, look, man, I appreciate you coming out, man.
I appreciate having me, man.
We have a tradition here at Black Comic Lords that once you interview with us, we consider you family. So what I'd like you to do is like you to look into the screen. Whoops, not that screen. This is what I'm talking about. God. Let's get rid of that. I have no idea what I'm doing. This thing is fighting me because Derek's not here. I'm going to remove myself. Want you to look into the screen, say your name, and say, I am a Black Comic Lord.
Okay. Look at the screen. All right. I am N. Stephen Harris, and I am a Black Comic Lord.
There you go. There you go. That was very dramatic. More 1 million is Derek. Yeah, see, Derek's out here laughing his ass off right now. He's probably at the airport. It's like, this is what happens when this is why you need to pay me more money. Anyway, man, thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat, for joining us. Appreciate your participation. Please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to Black Comic Lords. We're trying to grow the channel. And share this video to get other people to check out the works by the great N. Stephen Harris.
And shout out to Epiphany Engine. I forgot about talk about that. Epiphany Engine.
That's right. Breaking news. Hold on.
This is a Black Comic Lords exclusive.
Biggest piece of news in our community, and I didn't even remember to say it. So you're working on a little book that we're kind of sort of affiliated and helped out with called Epiphany Engine.
Yeah.
What are you allowed to talk about?
That I'm working on it, and that's about. I don't know what you know what. I'm gonna sign the NDA because I can tell you everything, but I'm not gonna do that.
Don't get me in trouble with Tony.
I'll be discreet. I did a 5-pager. That's a prelude to a story, and then I'm doing the finale, the finale story, and I'm on the last third of that. But I won't have that done until July because I got other work I gotta take care of first.
So your portion will be done by July, you said?
I'm looking in July, yeah.
And any word as to when the whole book will be done? You have any idea?
That's above my pay grade.
That's above your pay grade. All right, because I know people are going to ask.
Yeah.
Can't wait to read someday soon. Yes, we're all waiting patiently on Epiphany Engine. This book better be fire. The amount of talent on this book and how long it's take just means they're putting that much more love into it, everybody.
Yeah, and shout out to my man, Greg Anderson Elise, a.k.a. Alize. I call him Greg Alize, for his contribution to Epiphany engine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love calling him Alizé. That's funny to me.
It's not the were spider. All right. Thank you all again. We'll see you until next time. Look, I'm taking a little break from a lot of my Black Comic Lords activities. People have been asking me questions. I got a lot of stuff going on life be lifing.
Yeah.
And so I'll probably be on a bit of a hiatus, except for a couple things that we already have scheduled in June. But I'll be back in July, going strong and doing my thing again. So I appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown us here at Black Comic Lords. On behalf of the clan, appreciate each and every one of you. Black Comic Lords, we got you.
All right, everybody. Peace out. Love y'all.